This is the Montana dress by Style Arc Patterns. It is a midi length, slightly raised waistline dress with a darted bodice and pockets. It's super cute, but the midi length is kind of a problem for me. Where it hits on my body, even though I'm 5'6" and the pattern is drafted for someone who's 5'6", leaves me with a hem that hits in sort of an odd space. Like where it lands on my calf feels a little bit dowdy or matronly in a way that I don't like. So let's play a little bit with the proportions of this dress to get an idea of the ways that you can adjust the hem on a garment to make it suit you better based on your measurements or proportions. First of all, I'm wearing this dress with a pair of flat sandals, which chops off my leg and leaves it flat on the ground. Because of that, I could try adding a little bit of a heel. So we're going to start with a very slight heel in a clog style. Do you see the difference there? How it just lifts the leg up just enough. You know, when they say extend the leg, what they're really saying is it creates the illusion that there's a longer leg, which is to say that the proportion of leg to skirt is greater than it actually is. So let's try that with an even higher heel. This one is an open toe strappy sandal. And because it is 2 inches higher even than the clog, it creates more leg below the hemline, which extends the leg, alters the proportion of the garment to the body, and makes it more appealing. I'm going to emphasize this by showing you how it looks with a Chelsea boot. Now the Chelsea boot comes up above the ankle and actually eliminates most of the leg. And you can see how that impacts the proportion of the dress to the body. It creates the illusion that the dress is actually longer than it is. So let's say instead of changing the shoes that we actually want to change where the hemline goes. We can adjust the length of the hem in a couple different ways. Generally, the best place for a hem to land on most people's legs is just above, or just below the knee. By having the hem hit in these places, we can emphasize the curve of different parts of the leg. When the hem hits exactly across the kneecap, we get a very classic, traditional, somewhat conservative shape. When it lands just below the knee, we eliminate a lot of the upper leg, which is even more conservative, but can emphasize the curve of the calf. So if you have leaner calves, you might like to go just below the knee. If we go just above the knee, we get a hint of the thigh. We see the whole of the knee, and we emphasize the curve of the calf even more. So if you have curvier legs, you may want to go above the knee. In the end, though, what I wanted to do was eliminate that length altogether by changing the length of the hem on the garment. I could have worn a different pair of shoes and kept the length longer, but since I like the appearance of the dress with a shorter hem, I opted to go ahead and chop off those extra inches. I removed about 4 inches from the lower edge of the garment because this is a straight skirt, which is to say there's no angle or curvature on the hemline at all. I can just chop those 4 inches off with a rotary blade, press it up at the iron, sew it up at the machine, and ta-da! It's a completely different look from the original dress. When you compare the appearance of the proportions from the first version to the new version, you can see how big an impact playing with proportions has on a garment. Have fun sewing.